Hello everyone and welcome to the first video of our new channel and the first episode of the podcast we like to call The Night Shift. Now, real quick, I know this video, the title says My Two True Ghost Experiences, but first I want to talk about, real quick, I want to talk about what the channel is going to be about. If you've seen our old channel, DNL Entertainment, it's going to be very similar to that. So if you like that channel, you'll like this channel. But basically, what are we going to do in this channel? We're going to explore abandoned places. We're going to investigate the paranormal with our show, Supernatural Skeptics. And that show is unique to other paranormal shows because we're not exactly a believer in ghosts. We're open-minded, but we don't believe them, really. And we turn it into a comedy. We make jokes and make it funny and do stupid shit. And then we have this podcast called The Night Shift, where we discuss anything creepy and scary. True or false ghost stories. Stories about haunted houses, horror movies, true crime stories. Anything creepy, we'll discuss it on this podcast. And those are the main things that we're going to do. On the side, we're going to occasionally explore unique and historic places that need to be documented on video. And we might do a show called Revolting Rooms, but we won't do that right away because that show will cost money. And we're trying to get big on YouTube. So if you like this idea of what our YouTube channel is about, please subscribe. It would help us out a lot. So anyways, the title of this video is My Two True Ghost Experiences. And I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I really don't believe in ghosts, but none of this was made up. None of this was embellished or exaggerated. So here's the two stories. I used to work in a haunted building, the Neps department store building. This doesn't have anything to do with any ghosts there. But I worked in a frame shop that was connected to an art gallery, and the art gallery was connected to a studio where they had students that made art. And in our frame shop, we would frame the students' art, and we'd also frame for the public. So if somebody wanted to bring in a poster or a jersey or a painting or a print of anything or a drawing they wanted it framed, we would frame it for them. And like I said, this place was known to be haunted. I didn't experience anything here. I mean, the basement was really creepy. We kept all of our mannequins down there where the gallery would have, like the mannequins displaying clothes that were artistic or jewelry. And I was always afraid that I'd look over at a mannequin and it'd look over at me, but that never happened. But it was definitely a creepy basement. But I never experienced anything paranormal there. The assistant manager of the gallery, Wendy, she was afraid to be there alone. So just to show you, this place was creepy, but it was cool. It was an old antique building built in the late 1800s. And it was called the Neps department store. I think it was a couple things after that, and then it became the Do Art Studio and Gallery. So, but which is not there anymore. That business is gone, except for the art class. I think still exists, but it's in a different building. So I was working in the frame shop with my friend Bill, and Bill's father had passed away about 2 weeks before this happened. I had my back turned to Bill. Bill was doing work on the computer, ordering supplies for the frame shop, razor blades, mat boards, whatever. And I was cutting a mat, or preparing to cut a mat with a mat cutter, so my back was turned to him. I hear his phone go off, and he grabs for it and says, "Dorian, no way." I go, "What?" He goes, "My dad's calling me." And remember, his dad just recently died like 2 weeks before this. I go, "No way, man." And he shows me his phone. On the caller ID it says Dad. I go, "Whoa, that's creepy, man. Answer it." He's like, "No fucking way. I don't want to answer that. I don't want to know what I'm going to hear on the other end of the line." And Bill's a bit of a skeptic too. Probably maybe even a complete skeptic. But yeah. So the phone stops ringing. It dies down. 10 minutes later, the phone call rings again. He's like, "It's my dad calling me again." I'm like, answer it. And he's like, "No way, I'm not answering that phone." So he lets it ring till it dies out. And then the phone rings again. I tell him to answer it. And he does. He picks up the phone, holds it to his face, and he said all he could hear was a constant, low static, kind of like that. Just, that noise that you hear when no one's talking on the other end of the line. It's just that signal static. Like, that's creepy. And he hung up. And then it called again, he answered, and nothing but that same sound. So I go home from work that day. It was on a Friday. And he calls me later on that day. He says, "Dude, I was at my dad's wife's place. He called twice while I was with her. again, and I answered nothing but that static noise. So that was creepy. I don't know if there's like some glitch in the phone system where that would happen, but it's weird that it happened 2 weeks after his dad died, and only that time. But yeah, so I tell my mom this. I call her late Friday night. I'm like, you'll never guess what happened at work. This is really creepy. And she says, oh yeah, ghosts use electronics to communicate and grab energy from other people. I read it in a book, she says. And my mom's not a ghost person, so I'm like, why did you read a book about ghosts? And she goes, well, her mom, my grandma, she just acquired a wooden and glass display case from her mother, my great-grandmother, who passed away. And it's full of all my great-grandmother's little trinkets and collectibles and stuff. And supposedly, the light keeps on turning on and off. But that's not something I experienced. That's just something I heard through my grandma and my mom. So my grandma, experiencing this, thought it was the ghost of my great-grandmother, and bought the book. And then my mom read it, so that's how she found out about the electricity thing. But that's the first ghost story. Second ghost story. This happened literally just 3-4 weeks ago. I was downtown, and I decided to go upstairs, in the upstairs of the haunted antique store. Only the upstairs of the antique store is haunted. So, I'm walking around, and I said, I don't really believe in ghosts, but I found, what was the first object? I think a cup. I saw a cup on a table up there, and I was the only one up there except for this old man walking around up there. And it's a big antique. It's actually one of the biggest antique stores in America. So the upstairs is a big open space. So you can be all the way somewhere in the upstairs, yell something out loud, and the person across the opposite way of the upstairs area will not be able to hear you. It's that big. And he was wandering around, this old man, and I just kept my own business. I'm like, so anyways, I saw this little cup on a display case. I'm like, if there's a ghost here, make it move. I was trying to be funny, I'm like, there's no fucking ghosts. But I wanted to believe in ghosts. I want to believe in ghosts. So I was trying to make something happen, even though I knew deep down that nothing would ever happen. And I gave it 30 seconds to move the cup. After saying, oh, if you're a ghost, move the cup. Nothing happened. Then I went over to this little pink teddy bear on a wooden chair. I said, if the ghost is here, I said it loud enough for a ghost, alleged ghost to hear me, but not loud enough for anybody to hear me that was 20 feet away or whatever. So if there's a ghost here, knock the teddy bear on the floor. And I waited. Nothing happened. I said, if you're really here and you want to make yourself known, knock the teddy bear on the floor. Nothing happened. So I'm walking around, I'm shopping. I like antiques. I collect them sometimes, little antique trinkets and stuff. Sometimes they're very expensive and I can't afford them. And then I find these little wooden candles on a display case. And I say, if you're a ghost here, make one of the candles move. And they never moved. So I'm like, fuck this shit. There's no ghosts up here. It's rumored to be haunted by a Victorian woman in a black and purple dress. I'm like, she's not up here. Fuck this shit. Ghosts aren't real. I walk back towards by where the teddy bear is to look at the display case items again. The fucking teddy bear was on the floor. Just like what I asked it to do while I was standing there. I'm like, no fucking way, that's weird. I walked over to the teddy bear to make sure I was really seeing this. Grabbed it, squeezed it, flicked its little marble eyes. And, yeah, that teddy bear was definitely on the floor. So I put it back on the chair. I said, that's weird. I got the fuck out of there. So yeah, those are my 2 true ghost stories. For our show, Supernatural Skeptics, our hometown for Lucas and I, Lucas is my YouTube partner. Bay City is such a historical town. It's littered with tons and tons of haunted spots. There's ghost hotspots, paranormal hotspots everywhere. In fact, on October 14th, a spirit walk in downtown's Hell's Half Mile at night with a bunch of people. And we're going to go to some of the haunted spots downtown. And there's even a cryptid in Bay City called the Dogman that we'll check out with Supernatural Skeptics too. But, so we have tons of haunted places we need to go for that show. There's quite a few abandoned buildings here too. And like I said, if you subscribe, we'll start being able to travel, we'll have money to travel other places outside Bay City for other abandoned buildings. So if you subscribe, you watch our videos, yeah, you'll like it. And also, a difference between our new channel and our old channel is the camera. Our old channel, we had a camera that was constantly going out of focus. If you were in an abandoned building in a dark area, you couldn't tell what you're seeing with the camera. We have a nice new camera with a better sound microphone, and it never goes out of focus. It's a pretty nice camera, so it'll be better quality videos for you all. And anyways, that's it for today. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.